Hi guys, how's it going? Whoa, there's millions of you in this one. Is this the biggest one? I think it is. Hi guys, my name's Aidan. I direct that movie. I've got my AMC icy slushy. That's not something you can actually get in the UK. I think we just call it slushy. But I like that it's an icy thing. Anyway, so nice to see you all. Did you like that? You know what? The last time we had sort of pockets outside the chair, so that's probably so guys, thanks so much for coming. I'm so glad you enjoyed it. Don't worry, there is another chair here. And that chair belongs to Charli xcx. Hi Charli.
Hi Aidan.
Is it a sweater?
Sorry, it takes me a long time to get down the stairs because they're quite big. How's everyone doing? Did you have fun? Who's doing some metaphorical cocaine last night?
It's funny you say that.
Wait, so they can see properly. Look at the stairs.
Oh, they couldn't see. Can you see it? It's a t-shirt that says metaphorical cocaine.
Charli!
Charli, hi. So, yeah, guys, thanks so much for buying a ticket to this movie. We're so happy to get to share it with you guys. I can tell you are all fans of her. Yay. Well, okay, listen, little caveat, Charli and I are not used to running these Q&As. But you know what? Look at you guys. We've had a little bit of practice tonight. You know that. You did all of them.
Wait, who? Oh, it's you!
How are you just jumping into like?
Wait, did you actually moderate this time?
Oh well. Who knows where that can go?
Wait, yeah, but wait,
Next
have you
one.
actually been to all of them?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're not watching the film.
Oh,
but you're
yeah.
running to all the Q&As, which we love, we
Yeah,
love.
okay. What? So out of the ones that you've seen us do, which this should be the best one?
The second one.
The second one.
Well, okay. Well, no one else really knows about that.
Yeah. No, but what?
That's
Some
just
guys.
an in thing for us.
Yeah, between us three. But one thing we can promise you is that this is going to be the best Q&A. For sure. But so as you can tell me, Charli, I'm used to running them ourselves. But we now are getting used to that, and we're quite good at asking each other questions.
Yes.
So Charli xcx, do you have a question with me?
I do. Well, it's funny that you whipped out your t-shirt.
Yeah, no, I kind of got
Because-
dressed there.
Yeah, I know.
Weird.
Yes. But obviously there are a lot of great sort of, this is just a quick, like, we're warming up kind of a question.
Right.
There are a lot of, it's chairs.
Really fun.
I want to make sure it's like, you know, I don't want people want to go viral.
She doesn't want to go viral, you guys.
Yeah,
Please
never.
relax.
So there are obviously a lot of sort of quite fab one-liners in this film. It's all cringe, being another one I quite like. What other lines would you put on a t-shirt?
Really good question. I do kind of love the idea of having a t-shirt that said arigato for coming. Actually great.
Good. Maybe like that later on.
Yeah, you loved that.
Who would buy that t-shirt? So, not everyone. But we could say
A lot of them have their phones in their hands.
that's true. That's true.
Because you want to document it, which I do.
Exactly.
I love documenting.
What about
You.
I think the Kylie quote could be on a
Oh
t-shirt.
my god, just like well, a couple of kind of ones could be, it could just say go even harder,
Yes.
which I think is go, or it could be the second you think you're going to second you, that's when you have to go even harder.
Yeah.
And there could be another one where she just goes, if you're going to do it, you gotta like do it.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
Well, that's fine.
I also like Rachel's delete this.
Yeah, that's really good. Or two of the minutes. Oh, Cool. So guys, we're about to open up a shop with all of these t-shirts. What is that?
We're not opening a
We're not.
They'll be online.
Online.
An online
We're sort of brainstorming it here.
We're like
We're
riffing it
brainstorming it here.
It's sort of,
Can I just have a question? That's great. So for you, I wrote that down this time. I completely forgot.
kidding. We went through this so much.
I know. But it is spontaneous, so we go over on our own and don't tell the other one. Right, Charlie. Matt's gonna have to read that. Alright, Charlie. We had a lovely time on set, it was fun the whole time, obviously. But as we know from this film, what goes up must come down, so it can't all be laughs. What was your hardest day on set, would you say?
Okay, two particular days were quite hard for me. One, well, you probably know you there, but
No, I was there. I was there around 40% of the time.
right, I am
Joking, the whole time. I had to direct you guys.
The scene where I am on the wires, I did find particularly challenging because just like the logistics of that are quite frustrating. You know, like you sort of get that lifted up into the air, and then you know someone's like left their fucking jacket in the trailer, and you're like, bring it down! Like, I've still got this jacket! And you come all the way down, and it's like, you know, or like someone will forget their lines, and then they're like, reset it! And you're like, ah! It's like you're going up and down, up and down.
The Craig was doing that. You did ask me to, when you were first I hope this is okay to say, you did ask me to kind of take with my phone, just sort of do a 360 around you, just to make sure that, you know, everything you can see was sort of.
Yeah.
Wasn't too.
What do you really?
Revealing. That's it.
Yeah, luckily it wasn't. But I also felt really, I was like, my real creative director, creative partner, Imogen Strauss, said, we are, Imogen and I we sort of do everything together. She's my sort of right hand woman.
She's Charlie's friend, I guess.
Very good.
Thank you.
She was there on set, and she sort of came over to me whilst I was in that like hideous outfit, and got attached to the wires, and she came over and she looked like really sad. And I was like, "Are you okay?" She was like, "You look so stupid." And she like teared up.
Yeah.
And then I cried because she was so like
Horrified. Yeah.
with like, what I was doing. It looked like, and then we both sort of like turned on Aidan, and it was furious. We were like, "Aidan, what have you done?" And then you were like, "Well, you can read the script."
No, it was Charlie was already kind of very agitated about the whole thing, like going up and down. And she was just like, don't, just get me, just do it very quickly, please. And then Imogen posted on fucking makes it 20 times worse, and she's like, you just like, someone cool. And I was like, can you shut the fuck up?
And it is the point.
And then it was the point, and luckily I just picked you up, it was all in the right kind of mood, which was tense and sad. And perfect for the scene.
Yeah. So that was quite hard. And then actually, the scene where we're on our way to the rat card launch in the car with Jamie and Drew, where he's talking about, you know, what it would be if I was, you know, I'd get one, that whole thing. You can kind of tell. That was particularly hard because, so we shot a lot of this film in Dagenham, which I don't expect anyone in the audience here to know.
What's like Clarendon for LA? It's like Pomona or something.
I don't really know.
Made in Dagenham.
Hold on, sorry. That's where we shot 360, so it's hallowed ground for us.
I don't really know. It's like one person having.
Yeah. You have to do.
It's sort of like.
Outskirts of London.
Like outskirts of East London, but it's not anywhere that I imagine that any of you have visited London. I doubt that Dagenham would be like on top of your list. I actually loved being there. We were there for
You just kind of like
whole days.
Yeah, it's kind of far away from everything.
You're a bit far from everywhere. But what was I saying?
Well, the other why that was hard.
Oh, right. So, so we were driving around Dagenham in this van that was so squeaky and rattly. It was literally like, which is a nightmare when you film it. And also, legally, you have to wear your seatbelt, obviously, because that is very important. And the van was really long, like sort of a limo van. It was like, honestly, like, picture a van, and it's just not like that. Like, a normal van, this was not. It was a long, squeaky van,
Like
like,
a squeaky lorry with a couple seats.
yeah, and Jane and I had to sit really far away from each other. Sort of like, it was just a fucking nightmare. And also, we were all really tired and everyone kept getting red eyes. And it was also this part of the film that was supposed to be like so effortless and fun and funny, and we were all tearing our hair out because we were like also on the motorway and it was like.
We had to change our journey because it was so squeaky. Going around a normal suburban Dagenham was like you couldn't hear a word. It was just like, and then we had to go onto the motorway, which here you would call a highway.
No, freeway.
So we had to go on the freeway, the British freeway.
Yeah.
And then that kind of meant the road wasn't as sweet bumpy. But I like actually. It's funny, all the things you hated were so fine for me.
You were in a different car.
No, I was in the car now. Yeah, I was in the car. I was so far away because it was so long glory. Yeah, exactly. But then Sean, our DP, our cinematographer, Sean was amazing, Sean Bryce Williams, he was also great. Yes. Yeah. Was it Sean in the audience?
Sean!
Yeah, baby.
I'm like, I don't want to wear a seatbelt.
Yeah, he was living the whole time. He was like, also like having to like, the camera was shaking the whole time and a little too much even for him.
It was a nightmare. So.
But I love that scene.
What was your least, or not least favourite?
Well, a tough
most
day.
challenging day or most tricky scenes to shoot?
I mean, do you know what? It wasn't tricky, but it felt very like we had to like do it really quickly. Which when we stopped shot the Stephen Colbert scene, like, for real, it just like it was very like fast. We managed to squeeze in Charlie onto Colbert, so obviously that didn't happen for real because it was like it did. But we had to squeeze Charlie in, I think, right after Ben Midler, right? Yeah. So then another.
Yeah,
Ben! Yeah, baby! Okay, so Sean's got Ben in the audience. See, that's some other names, see what else. But anyway, we threw Charlie up there, and it was like we got like usually because they've got a show to run, they run in like a really tight ship, and. It was just very like you had to be so on, so ready to go. They did a full run through, and I'm like watching the monitor back there, and then they're like, "Oh, people want to go out and like speak to the fucking studio audience." It's like me coming out here and then being like, "Hi, cool, hi." So trying to just say that, and I didn't quite catch it. You said that one thing, and then also trying to tell Stephen as well. It's like, yeah, so could you say that other thing? You just missed the word brat. And then, all right, cool, we'll run it again. And that being like having to direct with an audience, obviously, was really like. Scary for me.
Yeah.
But that was fun. But no, it was a blast. I had fun the whole time. Thanks. Oh, they like that. Yeah, you know.
Right? Great audience, do you agree?
Yeah.
What was that?
Arlo. Okay.
I love you.
Great. I need to reverse my notes again.
Please do. I'm not doing questions.
Sorry. Right. Got it. So, I don't know if you know an album called Brat, but Charlie is really, really good. I don't know, okay, you kind of knew how you wanted to communicate Brat, how you wanted to roll out, how you wanted to tease it, up to like 2022? Wow. Really? Fucking hell. So just yeah, she's got to see it. She knows. So I mean, you're really good at kind of figuring out how you want to tell that story, how you tease things out, how you want to build lore, and not just make a piece of art, but communicate it, present it, build a foundation for it in the best way possible, so that like people feel welcomed into it, and feel like they're on board with it, and a part of it, I guess. So you tell me, obviously, we started brewing this kind of around the time Brat Summer, around 2024 when we first started. September 2024 is kind of when we started talking about it. How did you plan out some of the storytelling, not of the act, well, not in the actual film, but how we would kind of present the film, how are we going to tease it, how are we going to, you know?
Yeah, well, what's funny is I accidentally used the phrase "the moment" in a few pieces of
Media.
prior to even kind of coming up with that initial sort of document that I sent you, which was sort of like a rough premise for the story that I wanted to tell. And I actually used the phrase "the moment" in an interview I did with Interview magazine, and also in this document that I had made ahead of Brat, which became known as the Brat Manifesto.
Two people manifesto with Charli xcx.
Communist countdown! Yes, so that phrase was in there as well, that was truly like a coincidence, which was kind of interesting. But I think more specific, like kind of planting of the moment related things actually came at Coachella and also in my
You guys heard that? You're very
You guys are awesome. And also some the headline shows for Brat, where I was using a bit of AG's score. Actually throughout the show, I think most people will recognise particularly a track called Dread, which was the intro for my tour, and was sort of like blended with 365. But also there are actually a couple of other songs that are on the soundtrack, which I use as like transitional segue music throughout that show. Also at the end of Coachella, we actually used a lot of stills from set in an outro of that, and we used score, and yeah, I don't know, I was really interested in kind of trying to weave like the sonic of the film into the live show to kind of create a through thread that felt very important to me, because yeah, I do really love sort of planting that stuff early, and I like how cyclical it can feel, and
even the decay imagery.
Yeah, the decay, yes, totally. I think actually the whole kind of like setting fire to the Brat curtain, that was inspired by the film.
Yeah.
So it was all sort of
We finished shooting by then, we finished shooting in March.
Yes.
So it was almost like doing all that decay imagery. I remember you and Energy kind of figuring out what the stages of the decay were across the shows.
Yes, yeah. So it all sort of like came to life across both projects.
Yeah.
Can I ask you about, I guess this project was kind of unique in the way that we worked on it, because it really was quite fast.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it came together very fast. Aidan and I love to work very quickly anyway. Like when we shoot a music video, we're like really doing it very, very quickly. Like I like to work on records very fast. Like we're both quite fast when it comes to how we like to work. But obviously, like, you know, making a film is like a much longer process than making a 3-minute music video or a 3-minute song or whatever. But with this, I mean, you really wrote the first draft of the screenplay in about 10 days at the end of 2024, and we were shooting by March. And I would say that is quite fast, and I also think the way that you were shooting on set was very fast paced. The cadence of the literal edit of the film is very fast paced. Can you talk about pace as a sort of ethos throughout the project and how that was for you, and what that described for you?
Totally, yeah, right. That timeline was it was kind of towards the end of September 2024. Charlie and I were actually in Boston shooting an advert for Google.
Yes. No plan for that. No, seriously.
Oh.
You guys have never heard of that website, right? Right. Or like anti-capitalist, which is
Very cool.
You were right. You were right. Nice work, guys. So,
I think you'll cut his iPhone, so.
anyway, so it was 20th of September 2024 that really like we were speaking about doing this. And so over the course of like October and November, Bertie Brandis, my co-writer on this, neither of us had ever written a script before ever. Actually, the only script I'd ever written was the opening and ending sequence of the 360 music video. That was the longest script I'd ever written. Thank you. Thank you. And again, the 360 music video.
No, really, it's too much power now. We're being all night.
But yeah, so we neither of us ever done it, so we almost this crash course learning how to do it. But I'm also really grateful that we didn't have kind of rules in mind of how we wanted to approach it. Bertie's an incredible writer. She writes poetry, essays, she's a journalist. And so we kind of approached it the only way that we could, and learn how to do it the only way we could. Part of the reason we had to cram it in such a short amount of time is towards the end of the year, that's when I started working with Timothy Chalamet on a lot of like marketing stuff when he was doing a completely unknown. It's not often. But
You did do a pause.
I know.
To be fair.
Right, stop. Okay. So it meant that like the day, I think it was the day that we kind of stopped doing press for the Bob Dylan movie, was when I was finally me and Bertie were actually able to lock in. So we were kind of the 21st of December, I remember it, because we knew we had 10 days until the end of the year. And David, our incredible producer, David Canahosa, was kind of like, hey, listen, if you don't have a script by the end of the year, it's going to be really hard for us to like take this. We're like, right, it's 10 days. So we did it, we wrote over Christmas, we did that, and the way that Bertie and I wrote was actually very, to keep that kind of, speaking of pace and energy, like aliveness to the whole project. The way we would write, we would sit in like a cafe or somewhere, and we would like act a lot of it out. I was really good Charli impression, and we would kind of improv a lot. Close your eyes, is that painful for you?
I just don't think your impression is very good. You know you like our feedback.
I do know the way for I think there's a sort of, you like a bit. And I won't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah, do it.
Do it.
Okay. Oh, God, I'm not an actor, okay? I'm not trying to be an actor. Okay? I'll get to it at some point. But we would be like writing, and we would kind of yap out loud or whatever. And so it felt very like conversational, felt very alive. And as you said, it's like I'm glad that we had this kind of energy throughout it. Obviously, we had that first draft. Where were you? You were somewhere on holiday when you read it. That landed on your desk, which was great. It's first draft of the script, and then we kind of kept redrafting it and refining it and tweaking it up until we started shooting it in March. And again, that shoot window was really short. We shot it in about 25 days, and as you said, to us, it almost felt like I was like, oh, fuck, we've got noodles time. This is crazy. Like we're used to a day and a half to sort of tell a whole story, even though it is a 3-minute thing or whatever. But even though it was quick and intense, the way we wanted to shoot it was also to allow all the actors to kind of feel like we were shooting way more than anything else. They were having this opportunity to like try things out, which is how we actually like squeeze in a lot of improv and like give people the space to do things over and over again, get to the flow of it, keep the energy up. And actually, when we weren't shooting, we would play music as much as possible to keep people's blood pressure as high as possible. So, say for example, when Tim is rushing out of the boardroom and when he runs to the parking lot and they go and try and find Charli at home, we obviously shot all the different things on very separate days, and so like to get the same kind of rhythm and cadence and pace, we would play 365 featuring Shy Girl to kind of set the kind of metronome of how we wanted that like conversation, how the pace wanted to go, so it didn't feel like it dipped or rose between different scenes. So yeah, it was definitely like we wanted to feel real, we wanted to feel alive, feel speedy. So Charli, I've got a question for you. Oh no, I remember it. Right, I remember it.
Sorry.
Sorry, it's just something's happened to my head today. It's like no more information about it. Charli, why did you want to do this? Why have you done
I have to check your notes.
I know. Why did you do this?
Well, I kind of really wanted to make this film because I felt that I'd gone through really unique transition in my life, in my work life, of being known as one kind of artist for a much smaller group of people, and then after making rap, I kind of went through this sort of crazy whirlwind, kind of came out the other side of it with a lot more people knowing who I was and knowing my work and knowing who I was and having opinions on me and my work, and that was at points really tricky, and complicated, and sometimes I felt under a lot of pressure, and I think it just led me to start thinking about all of the emotions that I was feeling when you experience a different level of fame for the first time, or just like a really big change in your life, and how that can kind of spin you out and rock you a little bit. And I was really kind of in that a lot, and I was really thinking about my position as a person, as somebody who makes art, and I was thinking about how the art that I had made was kind of no longer mine because the meaning of it had become so impacted by everybody else's feelings and thoughts about it, which is great, and that always happens. But I think for me, this was the most that had happened. And actually, I think for some people who've known me and my work for quite a long time, there is a depth of meaning to rap and to my songs and what I do on stage. For other people, it's about wearing green and smoking six, and that's awesome because I love cigarettes. So it's maybe not it's cool that you are into them too. But I think it was interesting to see what certain groups of people would take from my work, my persona, and kind of boil it down into oh, this is what she is, and this is what she always will be. And that gave me a lot of food for thought, I think, really. And the reason I wanted to tell the story in this way, which I suppose is this sort of fictionalized version of what could have happened had I made different choices in 2024, was because it almost felt so real, because I had been in these positions before, particularly when I was younger. Record labels would sort of be well, you can't be you because you don't sell anything. You know what I mean? It's brush your hair, smile more, that kind of stuff. And those kind of conversations sound so stupid and ridiculous now, but they really did happen, and they still do happen. And I feel lucky that I've managed to sort of escape them, and also know myself well enough, and I'm confident enough in my work now to really just say no. But this film is the version where perhaps I'm playing a version where I'm not as confident. And I think now that I'm making more films, and which I feel so lucky to be doing, I'm feeling I'm gravitating towards telling stories about in particular women who are often perceived as difficult, and flawed and strong at the same time. And I think that those stories are and always will be very appealing to me. So I think that's why. Why did you want to tell the story, Aidan, and why did you want to do it with me?
Well, first of all, getting cancer, and I mean, the reason I would do it with you is that I could imagine doing this with anyone else. Love you, even if it wasn't a Charli xcx. You were playing Charli xcx, and I'm so bad that this first film goes together, Me and Charli, I think, really get each other really trust each other, and I'm sort of agree all the time. So, and but this in particular, I think it was a really interesting experience to kind of watch. The sort of the events that we make reference to, and I mean the kind of tail end of Rap Summer, to see that kind of happen in real time on a personal level with someone. So as Charli was speaking about, for someone to have made something that was extremely true and personal to them, and then have it become so successful and so widespread that it kind of takes on a life outside of you, and there's obviously something strange and weird about wrestling with something that's first come from you, but then lives outside of you, and perhaps you no longer recognize yourself in after a while, even though you still feel muddled up within, you still feel like your identity is all tangled up in it. There's a separation there, and that's a weird thing to experience for anyone, whether that's an album or it's your sense of self, because I think in the world we live in now, we feel a lot of our purpose, our sense of self-worth, and stuff lives outside of us, whether it's the work that we make, the job that we have, or the relationships that we have, or how we view ourselves, So that to me felt like a really interesting story, and then also from kind of cultural, like onlooker point of view, to have this story of you that I knew really personally, of someone that's going through this really interesting transition, and Charli wrote in this kind of document that she put together, which kind of was with the full genesis of this whole project, that you said such a strange thing to like work for half of your life, to sort of hold your dreams in your hand, and rather than, instead of feeling that you've achieved something, you've landed somewhere, that you just sort of feel like it's slipping through your fingers. So that was a really interesting thing to like examine on a personal level. Then as a kind of onlooker, from a kind of cultural perspective, it was interesting to see why these things happen, why feelings like that would come up when you live in a world which is so geared towards profit, or geared towards making things marketable, or having as many people buy into something as humanly possible. And it's interesting to see how those two things really interlink in an aspect. So that's why, pretty good. Hope you guys are loving
I'll take a picture.
Yes.
Everybody make sure you look really beautiful.
I do.
Woo! Yeah, guys,
You do, girl.
This is good. Yeah. Get up.
Oh, you're happy 10, Broom Broom. Yeah, coming up, girl.
Okay, here we go. You ready? Everybody say, Arigato coming.
Metaphorical cocaine.
I'm gonna do one with Flash since it's the last one.
Do a silly one. Let's do a silly one.
You ready?
3, 2, 1. Did that Flash go up?
Yeah.
So
What was the voice? You gotta do the voice.